Bengaluru, I'm Shiv Arur. Thank you so much for being part of this special broadcast. I am personally so happy to be in the city of Bengaluru. It is by far one of my favorite cities, but we've got to face a harsh reality. And I know you agree with me because Bengaluru has had a decaying reputation for a very long time. This is India's digital hub. This is India's Silicon Valley. This is a global city. It's a smart city. It's an investment destination. But for many years, Bengaluru has become an internet meme for traffic, for the quality of life, for how long people spend on the roads rather than spend time actually living their lives. And that's the reason why today is actually a good day. No less than the Prime Minister was here to inaugurate a new metro line, lay the foundation of another brand new metro line that will come online in a few years from now. But what it has also resulted in is a huge credit war. Who is responsible? And to talk about it, I am so thankful that I was able to drag some of my friends out on a very rainy Bengaluru Sunday afternoon. Dr. Ajay Singh is a Congress MLA, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, BJP MLA. So we've got both sides in what has already become a bit of a bisivele bath of politics here in Karnataka. Lavanya Ballal Jain of the Congress Party, Surbhi Hodigere of the BJP, and Veera Raghav and Deepak, who are our local warriors at NDTV here. So thank you all for being with me here at the Chalukya Samrat. They've been so kind to let us use their premises and eat some of their fabulous food. Comes with our highest recommendation. But Dr. Singh, I'd like to start it off with you. The Prime Minister was here. It's a metro line being inaugurated. He was here. Lots of events, lots of visibility. We did see a lot of BJP flags. We saw a lot of Congress flags as well. Very clear to see there's a credit war. What's going on? Why this fight over who is to take more credit for this metro line?
Great to be here, Shiv. I always love the dosas from Chalukya. First, we need to understand because who started this? This was started way back in 1999 to 2004 when it was a Congress government. We had a visionary Congress Chief Minister, Mr. S.M. Krishna. That's when it had started. It was initiated, conceptualized and started. And it was inaugurated for the first time on June 24, 2006. We need to understand who was the Prime Minister of the country then. It was Dr. Manmohan Singh, a visionary leader. So what we need to know is, till now for the phase 1 and phase 2, almost about 59,137 crore has been spent. Out of the 59,000 crores, almost 87.37, that is about 51,500 crores has been spent by the state government. What is the BJP taking credit about? Their contribution is only about 12.63%, about 7,000 odd crores. And you're saying that you are the one who you have done this? We need to understand the Congress always believes to work together in cooperative federalism. The state government, central government has to work in tandem.
The allegation is it's supposed to be 50-50, supposed to be a federal partnership for a national asset like a metro, but the BJP the centre has not even contributed 13%. So why are you taking credit and sending the Prime Minister here for it, is the allegation against you?
First of all, let me correct the facts, what my good friend has said about. First of all, when Mr. S.M. Krishna was the Chief Minister, then the Prime Minister was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. You know, the kind of relationship, the real bridge. For metro to happen in the city of Bengaluru, our then Minister, Union Minister, Anant Kumar was the main man to build the relationship between the state and the centre. During the tenure of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, all these things started. But the actual progress, then our coalition government, then 2006, the work started. The first phase of I was a first-time MLA. The inauguration happened during the tenure of our Chief Minister.
He has a big smile on his face.
Because he is not from Bangalore. He lives in Bangalore. He is my voter. He lives in my constituency.
My father was the opposition leader.
But he should more look into Kalburgi. Probably Kalburgi also is not getting.
He's like the rest of
No. They don't power
Minister.
Bangalore. They drop Bangalore. They take away from Bangalore thing. But we don't. Let me make it very clear. With regard to numbers, see, previous to their government, it was our government. It is not something, it does big, the state government belongs to Congress party. See, the parties keep changing either the time, all the,
That is true. Here in
from election to
Karnataka.
election, the governments
Even
keep
if
changing.
parties don't keep changing, chief ministers keep changing.
Yeah, even the chief minister keep.
Congress
it
always
more-
has
we
got
make it
Congress
more-
always has
We're
got
going to
single
come to that. We're going to come to that for
The
sure.
first way is the center has to contribute 25%, the state has to contribute 25%. So in the contribution of 25-25, the project happens. In case the entire project will be managed by the state government under the BMRCL. If the BMRCL planning and execution, acquisition of land, implementation, because of the drawback of the BMRCL, we can't blame anybody. See, whatever agreed terms, when a project is been initiated, it's a agreed term to have mutual contribution of 25%, remaining 50% by loan.
Okay.
By loan, it is 50%.
The BJP
One more
is
thing.
rejecting your almost 13%.
Yeah, 1 minute, Shiv. Even the 25% what is given by state government is a cess what is being given by Bangalore people, not even by the state government. State government hardly gives a paisa to Bengaluru.
So that
Bengaluru money
87% also is
distributed.
not state government money, they say.
It is all the people of Karnataka. The Congress is by the people of Karnataka. Whatever we collect is what we spend for them. That is what we have done in our guarantees, which will come to that later. What I'm trying to say is when the UPA government was there at the helm, at that given point of time, the state government was giving 30%, 25% was from the central government when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, and 45% through loans, through the BMRCL. But subsequently, what happened in the phase 2? When there was a role reversal, when we had the Congress government, again when Mr. Siddaramaiah was at the helm, he was the Chief Minister, still we gave 30%. And what did the central government give? From 25%, they got it down to 20%. And from 20%, today it is 12.67%. So where is the commitment of the central government to develop the brand Bangalore, to develop Karnataka? How are they doing it? And how can they, and how can you just please just let my friend tell me this? How can you take the credit? It's just laughable. People are laughing that how can you say that
People
you
are
take
laughing
credit?
at Congress because
that is-
you don't have a leadership,
How-
you don't have a face,
What
you
do you
don't have a
say?
credibility,
What do you
you
say?
don't have a trust.
Today,
You're totally
when you're looking-
totally faceless government.
when you look at
A faceless
Karnataka,
government.
Now they're both saying this with smiles on their faces.
See.
That's nice to say. It's
We
nice
can't,
about Karnataka.
Fight each other.
Shiv. Every time,
I think the
every time when the Congress comes to power from 99 to 2004, we had one chief minister, Mr. S.M. Krishna. Subsequently, my father was the chief minister of the state, Mr. Dharam Singh. Then after that, from 2013 to 18, we had only one chief minister. Now what we saw in 2008 to 13, we had like about 3 chief ministers of the BJP.
So we've gone from who was responsible for the metro to look how many chief ministers
No,
you've
he's
had.
talking about the leadership. No, because this is
Yeah,
the
I
topic
understand.
came only when he's talking about the chief ministership and the leadership.
Fair.
yeah.
Point is fair. Yes, respond, sir.
See, the chief is talking about the chief ministers. Okay, during the tenure, before the tenure of the S.M. Krishnas, how many chief ministers were there in Congress? Virendra Patil, Bangarappa, Veerap Moile. In one tenure itself, they had 3 chief ministers. See, Congress party now, I'll tell you, Congress party has become so helpless.
I can see the words moving in Veera's
The
mind.
Congress party has become so helpless.
No, I think
They
what's
are not
moving in my
strong. The high
mind
command
is
is not strong. It is dictated from Bengaluru.
it's the masala dosa that's moving in my mind
Either
right now.
leaders always will not be in party. That is a kind of threat their own leaders will give to their own high command.
Okay. Dr. Singh and Dr. Ashwath Narayan, please enjoy some kesri baat and dosa as well because
There's no
I don't
taking
want to.
credit for who makes better masala dosa. BJP, Congress, masala dosa is the same in
They,
Bangalore.
is it? So you both of you agree that the masala dosas here are among the best in the city? Okay. Fantastic. Lavanya, let's come to you. Let's bring the ladies in. The real warriors of the two parties who are at each other's throats. You are the people, Surbhi and Lavanya are the ones who actually appear to take these fights forward. What have you been making of today? We've seen Congress flags everywhere. We've seen BJP flags everywhere. How do you see this credit war happening. How have you been briefed to fight for it?
I don't need to be briefed, or none of us need to be briefed. But first of all, thanks for having us on the show, and congratulations to all Bengalurians today. They are the actual winners. Whoever fights for credit, it's the citizen of Bengaluru who is a winner today. And Congress is notorious for one thing: they never take credit for the work they do. And this is what we have been seeing consistently for the past few decades.
You're saying Congress doesn't take credit?
Yes. It's only the young leaders like Ajay Singh sir who have started taking credit for the work they do. And now when they take credit for the work they have done, we see BJP coming and saying, hey, we have done the work. It's not the Congress, right? Now when BJP talks about infrastructure, the delay in infrastructure, I would like to reiterate, the Congress wants to build sustainable infrastructure that lasts for 100 years at least, and not some crumbling infrastructure. Point number two, when BJP talks about taking credit, I would like to remind everybody, BJP claimed within a few months of Prime Minister Modi taking office, charge of his office, in his first term, Bangalore will have monorail. We have not seen traces of that. I mean, their MP has been trolled about the monorail multiple times. I don't know if people remember that. One of their MPs have been trolled for the monorail. So when you're taking credit, I think you should be gracious enough to say, hey, you know what? Even the state government has contributed.
So Bengalurians are the winner today. That's something we can all agree on. But stop taking credit seems to be the rallying cry of the ruling Congress here. Surabhi, what do you say to that? Saying that so many promises have been made, these are all castles in the air, Bengalurians have been fooled is the suggestion coming in from the Congress party. So why does the BJP swoop in every time something like this happens to take credit? That's their question.
In the recently concluded program that just ended a couple of minutes ago, the Prime Minister's speech stood out because he was the only person on that stage after Siddaramaiah spoke, saying that this is a gift to the people, not the centre, not the state. This is a gift to the people. This is the hard work of the people which has led to this sort of infrastructure development. Prime Minister set the tone right there and then. So there is no debate, one. Second, but if you want to make this political mudslinging, let me remind you what has happened in the last 6 months. Or 1 year. We have not had a full-time BMRCL MD. Where was the Congress when problems were coming in? Land acquisition processes, not just for the metro, but also for the suburban rail, have hit a roadblock. Where was the Congress when this was happening? When there was an issue with the fare hike that has happened throughout. There's been a price hike with everything. But fare hike specifically with the metro, where was the Congress party? They are the ones coming in and taking credit in the last minute because they know that the metro and not the tunnel road is the solution for Bengaluru. They know that Bengalurians want metro ridership, want better fares for the metro. They do not want things like the tunnel road. Congress has spoken about tunnel road again and again and again, whereas metro today has only come into the picture because the Prime Minister came to inaugurate it. They remembered metro today.
So you want to respond to that?
We are definitely...
I'll come to you, Lovejeet. Yeah.
No, we are definitely committed to the metro. There's no doubt about it because we are the ones who are funding it. You know it. People know it. So we are the ones who are going about it. We are looking at the tunnel road also to decongest the roads. Today you're seeing the situation now. It's a bustling city. The city is growing. The Silicon Valley of India. So you are having people from all over coming down to Bangalore. So we need to look at various things and only then we'll succeed. So we're looking at metro, we're looking at tunnel roads, decongestion and everything else also. We're going to have, I think before the August 15th, we're going to have a flyover, a loop also going to be inaugurated at the Hebbal junction. Yeah.
Dr. Ashwath Narayan, you want to respond to that? I will close the loop on this particular thing and then I'll bring in some of the other urban issues in Bengaluru as well.
Just to add a question to that, what was the need for the Prime Minister to be here to inaugurate a small line of the metro? Is a question that's been raised repeatedly. Was it actually necessary? Did it warrant for the visit of the Prime Minister to make that inauguration?
Yes, definitely yes. It is not a small project. It is worth of 22,000 crores. Inauguration of the 7,000 crore of yellow line and the new foundation line been laid for the JP Nagar to Kempapura and Vasalli to the Magadi road. Probably this project is very important for a city like Bengaluru. Public transportation plays a very important role. The road capacity is very limited. So we need to look up to the public transportation. Probably in this direction, the presence of the Prime Minister is very important to send a message that we are here to emphasize, to promote the public transportation system. Along with this, the three trains were flagged off today. Those were all very important, bringing Bengaluru and Belgavi together. Probably Vande Bharat train, being flagged off is very important. Along with this, the two other trains were flagged off from Bengaluru. And we do expect, the presence of Prime Minister in the Karnataka, so that, the federal system can become much more stronger and we can build a much more stronger. The Congress somehow, whenever the Prime Minister comes, they should be, happily willing to welcome him. See, that's how we can build relations. We don't have election now. There's no election round the corner. Why are they so scared? They're so scared of the Honorable Prime Minister.
Instead of the
Prime
state
Minister,
BJP cadre,
they're
scared of the Prime Minister. There's
Completely
no
scared.
way. There's
Scared.
no way. See, in the state BJP cadre, instead of going gung-ho about the metro, they should have all gone to the Prime Minister and told, Mr. Prime Minister, the injustice done by the Finance Commission, where we are supposed to get 4.71%, which has come down to 3.64 crores. We have been denied and deprived of almost about 11,000
you
crores.
should know.
That is, see, 11,495 crores. 11,495 crores, which is supposed to come down here. Which is supposed to come down here. And for the BMRTL, for infrastructure, for the roads, for congestion, and for the overall development of the state. How many MPs do you have? The state government has given about 19 MPs to them. They have given 19 MPs. We need to understand.
No.
You had like about 26 MPs.
I will come to Deepak and Veera right at the end because let these two have it out first.
BJP,
Yeah.
2 MPs from JDS, and we have won only 9, where we should have won more also. And you know what the reason is. So people should have told, let the funds come. See, when you're looking at development of the state, when you're looking at the 6.5 crore people, when you're looking at brand Karnataka, brand Bangalore, there should not be any politics in this. Even though we have a Congress government at the state level, and at the central government we have a BJP. You should get the fund. The fund should be got to us. We come with you. A Prime Minister met on 24th of June. He met our President of
Either you should stop
India.
him or you should ask me. See, during UPA, the fund what was given to the state of Karnataka, you can compare 3 times of that. 3 times. Even if you take inflation, you can take inflation into consideration. It is 3 times, lakhs together of crores have flowed to the state of Karnataka, lakhs together. During the tenure of UPA, what grants we got from the government of India, it is 3 times of that. So, 3 times of that. Even then, they just try to, make all kind of accusation. They without baseless statements. We totally condemn the Congress government during their tenure. You just see for the past 2 years, what they have done in the Bangalore city. Not even pothole. They are not able to even fill the potholes. Even they are not able to clear the waste. The solid waste is been seen everywhere across the streets. We can see the dark streets. Law and order completely collapsed. No education system is existing in city of Bangalore. There's no health care. Healthcare is completely collapsed. There's nothing. The Congress government, they're busy making money. ATM Sarkar.
Okay, let's have Lavanya respond.
Yeah, well, when the BJP talks about metro price rise, I think they forget there is a committee which includes IAS officers both from the state and the union who decide on the price of the metro tickets. So that is an issue that has already been done and dusted, and we have seen how much everybody has protested against the price rise of the metro tickets. While BJP talks about infrastructure and Congress is not doing this, they're just talking about, potholes and everything. We inherited a legacy from BJP wherein our RTCs had more than 4,500 crores as a loan that we have to fill right now. We also inherited the legacy of a crumbling health department which is plagued by scams, which is still under investigation by Michael D. Kunna Commission. So when we inherited the state 2.5 years ago, we inherited a crumbling state from the BJP.
Okay. You want to answer that? Then I want to bring in Deepak to talk about the overall aspect of urban decay in Bangalore.
there was a mention that Congress invests in sustainable infrastructure. We've seen what Congress has done in the state. The Ejipura flyover has been stuck for 8 years. No movement on that in the constituency of the transport minister. Hang on. We take a proactive approach. When the fare fixation issue happened, the BJP MPs went and fought in court. What did the Congress do? When the issue of DMRC and MD happened, the BJP is proactive. The Congress likes to have infrastructure projects that make money. Brand Bengaluru is what you say. Bengaluru pays 60% of taxes to the overall Karnataka. Tell me, will you make the same argument and say that Bangalore deserves all of the taxes? You have a divisive type of politics. Center versus state, people versus people. Breaking down institutions, you do not build. This country sees a new India. Prime Minister came today on the invitation of the Chief Minister and the DCM, and the Prime Minister came because he personally pushed. The Prime Minister pushed. The Prime Minister pushed. But your opposition leader's priorities is doing vote-chori
You're a divided group.
Your opposition politician does not know anything about real-time politics. He is doing vote-chori politics. Hang on. He's not. Is he even in the country, sir? Please.
And you all
remember one thing.
You're like a divided house and you're talking about us.
CM and the DCM
We are the
that
ones
have
who is
accepted that they wanted the Prime Minister here.
I'm going to order some buttermilk to calm everyone down because we've got some very spicy food. Sir, please have some kesari bhat, some sweet also. No, this is a serious issue. It's a serious issue. I agree. I'm not trying to make it facetious.
Veera Raghav raised a question. I would like to respond to that. We all believe the Prime Minister's time can be used much better than flagging of trains and metros.
He's not taking a vacation like the LOP every 1 month.
Please, he only attends weddings.
tell the Prime
He only
Minister how to
attends
use his
Bollywood
time.
weddings.
Rahul
He
Gandhi
only
goes on
attends
vacation
Bollywood
more than he
weddings.
What they should have done.
Only Bollywood weddings.
The only one.
You have
who is
it
gone from
only
Kanyakumari.
Bollywood weddings.
The only leader. Mr. Rahul Gandhi from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, who is gone, is Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
How many press conferences he's done? How many press conferences our Prime Minister has done in the last 11 years? You please tell me that. How many times he's faced the media? How many times he's not been stage managed?
The Prime Minister's invitation was made by the DCM and
Our
the
leader
CM. The Prime Minister was invited by the CM and DCM.
146 crore people in our country.
Let me just
met everyone.
let me bring back some control on this because this is a substantive issue that we're talking about. We've gone from Manmohan Singh to Atal Bihari Vajpayee to SM Krishna to now predictably coming to Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. Now look, Veera, I know you were trying to stop them, but my thing is politicians also want to have at it as far as their big leaders are concerned. They are emotional about Rahul Gandhi, these guys are emotional about Modi. That's why this also comes. But Bangalore wants to know about whether there is going to be accountability for these projects. Now there's a lot of personality-driven visibility as far as these things are concerned, which is the way Indian politics is. When has it not been like this? The question is accountability. Beyond just metros become an emotive face of what we're fighting about today. The point is Bengaluru has serious problems. Deepak, you and Veera have been tracking it on the ground as well. One government after the other comes in, each blames that ours is a little better than the last one, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Dr. Ashwath Narayan points at Ajay Singh and says, you guys have made things worse. As a reporter on the ground, what is your view?
Shiv, I want to ask all the politicians here and the spokespersons. The message is simple from the people. Take credit, but do it on time. Metros are delayed inordinately. It is not as if only the Congress was in power. The BJP has been in power here as well through the entire phase where the metro is happening. The people don't care who's taking credit. At the end of the day, you're not going to put the common man who's paying his taxes on the TV screens taking credit when Shiv is doing his debate. It's both of you all who are there who are taking credit. But what do the people get? They get months and months or years of waiting in traffic.
What is your question to the politicians? We'll get both the MLAs to
I want to know from y'all. What are you going to promise to the people to ensure that projects are taken up on time? Because somebody, I think Surabhi mentioned about the flyover in Ejipura. This has been on through the BJP Congress regime. Till today, we've not seen the light of the day. Our people haven't been able to commute. What are you going to promise to the people instead of talking about the
question?
See, direct question. What I'm trying to say is, before the August of 15th, the Independence Day, we're saying that we're inaugurating the loop in Hebbal. So things are happening. We're
That was
doing.
supposed to end in 6 months.
It has. It has. See, you could see the results now. You can see the development. And what we have done, whatever we have promised, where our opposition said we will not be able to do. Now all the guarantees, they said none of the guarantees is going to come. Today, 1,35,000 crores in the last 26 months is being given to every person in Karnataka, most of the people in Karnataka. And people, what they said, no guarantee, nothing will happen, they said nothing will happen. Then after that, what came? Modi ki guarantee came. When Modi himself, they told that none of the guarantees will work. Now, in all the states, all the guarantees are copied by the Congress government. This has never ever happened before.
What is your question to the BJP
But
MLA?
again,
Dr. Ashwat?
like I said, it is not just a Congress party. You have been in power as well from 2019 to 2023. There were several projects that didn't complete during your term. For the people, all that I'm asking is, what is the assurance from today that you will meet deadlines? Because that seems to be the biggest problem that the people face. And filling up potholes, of course.
Definitely, irrespective of the parties, we need to work on the deadlines. See, ultimately, all political parties are meant for the good of the society, the good of the people. So we need to act very responsibly, and even as a ruling government, the Congress now, the present Congress government, or as an opposition party, we need to focus and ensure that the delivery of the schedule will happen, and it will work towards people, and it should be people-centric. And all kind of, see, even Ajay was talking about the guarantees. Okay. Since the Congress party has come to the power in the state of Karnataka, they have levied the taxes, what they have given in guarantee. More than that, they have collected more taxes. In the name of guarantee, they have increased all the taxes. They've increased the diesel price by 5 rupees. They've increased the petrol price by 3 rupees. They've increased the all kind of services from excise to stamp duty to motor vehicle to metro, bus, everything. They have increased. They have collected more than 1.5 lakh extra money.
No, what is happening? No, I'm not paying.
So pain. No, and let me make it clear. See, it is not a gap. See.
When it was 71 rupees,
Yes.
now it is 108 rupees.
See, we
The tax
reduce.
when it was 400
See, we
rupees,
reduce.
subsidy of
No,
200 rupees. And
Ajay,
it is 1100
Ajay, you have got.
subsidy.
See, Ajay, you have got memory loss during our Bombai's period.
How is it you think that-
During Bombai's period and
I'll
by
tell
this.
you the facts and
No.
figures when Mr. Bommai
It was
was there,
reduced
when
by
we were
15
there.
rupees. It was reduced by 15 rupees. The petrol was
much?
reduced by 10 rupees.
How much?
It was a big money. As soon as the Congress party came to the power, what they spoke about it, the price rise. Now, since the Congress party has come to the power in the state of Karnataka, they are responsible for the price rise with regard to everything. Everything. From the users, imagine solid waste management says
You frame the question, the last question now to be asked.
Let's frame this
and
back
we'll try and get
into.
Surabhi and Lavanya.
We began discussing the metro, and I've got one very specific question to Surabhi, to Ashwat Narayan, to Ajay as well. Do we even recognize that this is only a symbolic launch of the yellow line? The yellow line is not going to be fully operational. It's going to be running 25 minutes, kind of. This one, number one. And number two, can I also ask you, isn't Bangalore the primary responsibility of the state government? Why constantly point fingers at the center? What about the state? What has the state government done? Can that be the focus? And I think the core issue is whether it's BJP or Congress in Bangalore is corruption. There is enormous amount of local level corruption which has been an impediment to development works. Everybody says this.
See, what's the budget outlay of the state government? Is 4,09,549 crores. What's the central government budget? Is 50,65,000 crores. In that, you think that you need to provide money to our state government? All what we are asking for is for the development of the state. So, if we are going to ask for funds, and here isn't it the responsibility, isn't it corporate federalism? Shouldn't we work in tandem? Shouldn't we work together? Shouldn't we get the funds what we are supposed to get? And at least the 20% of amount of funds
You're
which you
making it
promised
a
to get, you're
political
not getting.
slugfest instead of having a financial argument. You're vitiating the atmosphere, which only makes it worse.
Today, if the Prime Minister of the country is coming to Bangalore, we'll welcome him. But other than posing or giving pictures for the yellow line, he should provide the funds for the 11,495 crores, which the state government is due.
Okay, let me answer that question very quickly because this finance commission argument keeps coming up again and again. During the UPA time, the state's share in the divisible pool was a mere 29%. States got only 29%. It was risen to 42% first and 41% under the Modi government. So that argument is completely false. And it was Siddaramaiya as chief minister in 2018 who went in front of the finance commission.
Are you a Bangalorean and a Karnataka first? Are you a Karnataka first?
It is
our duty to get the money to our state government.
Please don't speak over me. It is the chief minister's representation. He has to represent us correctly in front of the finance commission. He has failed. I just wanted to tell one last thing with respect to Bengaluru. Nobody wants to hear these excuses, credit wars anymore. Nobody wants to hear it. They want proactive governance. It was BJP's actionable, proactive governance that allowed for this to happen. 0 kilometers were actually tendered during their time. It was during the BJP time that this happened.
If you are seeing any development in the state of Karnataka, it's all the development, the capital work, whatever is been done by Government of India. Let it be any highways across the state of Karnataka. Let it start from Bidar till Chamarajanagar or any part of the state with regard to the road development, with regard to the railway tracks, or with regard to the port development. You name the infrastructure, let it be houses for the poor people. What was not done in the entire history of 65 years, within 10 years, we could build 4 crore houses. What was built in 65 years, it was only 3 crore houses. Drinking water, each and every houses. Under the Jal Jeevan Mission, even the drinking water was not provided. Even with regard to my good friend Lavanya was talking about the healthcare. You should see the state of affairs. After coming to the power, even after 2 years, 4 months, they were not even able to procure minimum essential drugs. After 2.5 years, now they are providing money because the house is going to come up. We are going to question. They have killed the pregnant women. There's no health care. They are just they're just not done anything. Even with regard to the health mission. Even with regard to the health mission.
No, as a doctor, I don't think he should make that statement.
The money.
I don't, as a doctor, he cannot make the statement that we killed pregnant women. Sir, it was the drug, the lactate ring drug that is responsible for the... No.
Knowingly they have administered the Renger lactate. IV fluid. They are nothing but the murderers.
No.
There's no doubt about it.
Okay, if I may respond.
Various programs.
No, let me respond. When he's talking about the lactating women who died, the Karnataka government made it very clear to the central laboratory that the lactate ring is the reason that we find these women are dying. And the central laboratory refused the statement saying, no, for us, according to the tests, this is not the reason. So we have banned those drugs right now in Karnataka. While we are talking about the hospitals, do not scream. Do not scream.
Okay.
Do not scream at me.
Everyone calm. Everyone calm. No.
Even then they have administered.
No. Let me complete my statement. Doctor, you cannot make misleading statements. You cannot make misleading statements. No, you cannot. You cannot. I can scream too. You cannot make misleading statements.
Okay.
I would like to say we inherited.
Even in the floor of the house, when they made an allegation, they were not able to even respond. Full silence. They had no answer.
Let Lavanya finish her point. Let her finish her point.
I would like to say, I think Dr. Ashwath Narayan cannot refuse that there was a huge COVID scam, unimaginable amount of COVID scam in Karnataka. There was no oxygen in Chamarajanagar for 100 people. People died. 32 people died in Chamarajanagar without oxygen. And I'm sorry, we are investigating. Madam, please read up.
Let him come
Investigation is going on. You are uneducated about the issue. Don't scream.
I think television
after 2.5 years, they have got no answer.
Are quiet and are speaking at a much lower voice. So I think I think that's the lesson right now, that we are enjoying our masala dosa. We are enjoying
Look, this is a very serious issue, folks. There is no doubt about it. These are issues that affect the common Bengalurian. But I would completely second what Veeraraghav has said. As television anchors reporting on these serious issues, I have never been so quiet. And I'm happy to be quiet in such august company, frankly. So I'm going to bring this to an end. I think we can go on the whole day. I think we've proven that. There are people watching us all around here at Chalukya Samrat as well. So thank you very much to all of you for being with me. My only hope, and I'm going to end with the point that we made at the beginning, which Veera I think made, is that the people hope for accountability. The people hope that projects are delivered on time. I think as Indians, we are accustomed to things like credit wars. We are accustomed to it. We are a noisy, chaotic democracy, even though I don't like constantly using that as a reason to blame the things that happen in this country. But projects should happen on time. When we're talking about such huge money, colossal sums of money being spent on, a few tens of kilometers of project way in a metro, I think the least that a Bengalurian would expect is that things actually happen on time. Bengalurians are big-hearted. They are incredibly progressive people. They will forgive the politicians for the finger-pointing and the crossfire. But they say, please give me my metro on time. So therefore, this new orange line, is it the orange line, Veera?
orange
is the next one.
Blue and then pink.
So there's orange, there's blue and pink. There's a whole rainbow of lines coming up before Bengaluru can really be called a number metro city. But I hope the next one actually happens on time. And maybe we'll do the next one riding on that metro. Thank you so much to all of you for being with me. And thank you so much for watching.